Hello friends, in this session we are going to take up question 51 to 55 of class 8 Aryabhatta paper 2020 section D. So let's look at this question. If x plus 1 by x is equal to 5, then find the value of this expression. So now this is given to us. We take the square of this. So it becomes x square plus 1 by x square plus 2 is equal to 25, which implies x square plus 1 by x square is equal to 23. Now let's take the given expression and we divide by x square, divide and multiply, or you can say divide it by x square in numerator and denominator. So what do we get? If we divide the numerator by x square, we get x square plus 3x plus 5 plus 3 by x plus 1 by x square. And in the denominator we get x square plus 1 by x square. Now let's rearrange this. We can write the numerator as x square by 1 by x square, taking this first and the last term together, plus 3 into x plus 1 by x, taking the second and the fourth term together, plus 5 divided by x square plus 1 by x square. Now what do we do in this is, we know the value of x square plus 1 by x square to be 23, and we know the value of x plus 1 by x to be equal to 5. So we'll just put these values here. We get 23 plus 3 into 5 plus 5 divided by 23. This becomes 43 by 23. So this is the value of the given expression. Moving to the next question. X and Y are two cylinders having equal total surface areas. The radius of each cylinder is equal to the height of the other cylinder. The sum of the volumes of both the cylinders is 250 pi centimeter cube. Find the sum of their curved surface area in centimeter cube in terms of pi. So let's first of all draw two cylinders. Now what is mentioned is radius of each cylinder is equal to the height of the other cylinder. So let's take the radius of this to be r and the height of this to be h. Let's call this cylinder x and this is cylinder y. So now the radius of this cylinder is equal to the height of the other one. So its radius becomes h and its height becomes r. Right? So we are not going to take separate radius and height. Why? Because it is specifically mentioned here. So these are the two cylinders now. Now it is mentioned that they have equal total surface area. So what is the total surface area? Let's call it Sx for cylinder x. This is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r square, or we can also write it as 2 pi r into h plus r. So this is the formula for the surface area of a cylinder. For surface area of y, this becomes 2 pi RH plus 2 pi h square. Right? Because here the radius is h. So this is again 2 pi r into 2 pi h into r plus h. And these two are given to be equal. So Sx is equal to Sy means 2 pi r into r plus h is equal to 2 pi h into r plus h. So this cancels, 2 pi cancels, this implies r is equal to h. Right? So from these two areas being equal, we get this r to be equal to h. Now the sum of the volumes of the cylinder is given to us. So first, what is the volume of Vx? this is pi r square h, and Vy is equal to pi h square r. So now the sum of volumes, which is Vx plus Vy, is equal to pi r square h plus pi h square r. We can write this as pi r h into r plus h, and this is given to be 250 pi. Now in fact we can just replace h with r because these two are equal. So we get pi r square into 2r is equal to 250 pi. Pi cancels with this. So this gives us 2r cube is equal to 250, which means r cube is equal to 125, which implies r is equal to 5 centimeter. Right? So we get the value of the radius and height of the two cylinders. Now we have to find the sum of the curved surface areas. Curved surface area, let's call this AX is equal to 2 pi RH and AY is also equal to 2 pi RH. So sum is 4 pi RH, or you can say 4 pi r square, which means 4 pi into r square is r being 5, it becomes 25. So this is 100 pi centimeter square. This is the sum of the curved surface areas of these two cylinders. So this is the answer to this question. Moving to the next question. What is the remainder when this given expression, given polynomial is divided by x cube minus x? So now first thing which should be very clear is the divisor is a third degree polynomial. So the remainder will obviously can be a maximum of second degree polynomial. So let's call this r and let's define this as rx square plus sx plus t. We've defined the remainder as some polynomial of a maximum second degree, right? So now this implies, if this is the remainder, we can say that the given expression, let's write it down from higher power to the lower one. So we write this as this. Now this can be written as x cube minus x into some polynomial px plus this remainder, which is rx square plus sx plus t. And we can call this as fx, the given polynomial. Now fx is equal to x into x cube minus x can be written as x into x minus 1 into x plus 1 into px plus rx square plus sx plus t. Let's call this first. Now for x equal to 0, we know what does the remainder theorem states? That the remainder is given by, if we divide this polynomial with x, the remainder is going to be f of 0. And now what is the value of f0? If we put 0 in this given expression, f0 comes out to be 0, right? Now this implies if we put the value of x equal to 0 in 1, we get 0, f0 is 0 equal to 0 plus t. So this implies t is equal to 0, right? So we are using nothing but the remainder theorem here, and you can watch our video on remainder theorem for concepts based on this. So all the topics that are being used here, we've given the link for those videos. You can watch them for those concepts. We're not explaining the concept here. Now divide fx with x minus 1. we divide it with x minus 1. What do we get? Again, as per the remainder theorem, remainder is going to be f1. So what is f1? If we put x equal to 1 in this fx, we get f1 is equal to 5. Now we put x equal to 1 in 1. What do we get? We get f1, which is 5, is equal to x minus 1 is 0. So this complete thing becomes 0, equal to r plus s, and t we already know is 0. So we get r plus s is equal to 5. Let's call this second. Right? Now let's take the third one, which is x plus 1. So we divide fx by x plus 1. As per the remainder theorem, what should be the remainder? F of minus 1. So if we put x equal to minus 1 in fx, what do we get? We get f minus 1 is minus 5. And now we put x equal to minus 1 in the first expression. What do we get? f1 being minus 5, this is equal to, this part again becomes 0. So here we get r minus s. So let's call this third. So r minus s is minus 5, r plus s is 5. We add these two. What do we get? We get 2r is equal to 0. This implies r is equal to 0 and s is equal to 5. So now what is the remainder? Remainder r is equal to, so small r is 0 and t is 0. So this becomes 5x. This is the answer to this question. Moving to the next question. In the given figure, the points M, R, N, P, S and Q are concyclic. If O is the center of the circle and RS and NQ are the diameters of the circle, we need to find out the sum of these four angles. Now what are these four angles? First is PQR. So we're talking about this angle. Then is OPR. So let's join this OP, this angle. Angle NMS, which is this angle, and angle OSN, which is this angle, right? So we have to find the sum of these four angles. So let's take angle PQR to be equal to x. Now this would imply that angle POR will be 2x. We know that the angle subtended by an arc at the center is double of the angle subtended at the remaining part of the circle. So this PR, this is subtending an angle x at point Q. So at the center it will subtend double the angle. So this becomes 2x. Now let's take the triangle OPR. Now in this we know that OP is equal to, OR is equal to OP, which is the radius of the circle. So this would imply angle OPR will be equal to angle ORP. So what will this angle be equal to? This will be equal to 180, which is the sum of the three angles of the triangle, minus 2x divided by 2. So this is 90 minus x. Right? Similarly, let's call angle NMS to be y. This would mean angle NOS will be 2y. Now in triangle ONS, we again have ON is equal to OS, which is the radius. So this implies angle ONS will be equal to angle OSN, and that will be equal to nothing but 180 minus 2y by 2. So again 90 minus y. Now what do we have to add? Angle PQR plus angle OPR plus angle NMS plus angle OSN. So what is angle PQR? This is x, plus angle OPR. PQR was x, OPR is 90 minus x. Angle NMS we have considered to be y plus angle OSN, which has here we have calculated it to be 90 minus y. So this cancels here, this cancels here. So this becomes 180 degree. So the sum of these angles is 180 degree. Moving to the last question of this session. From each corner of a square sheet of size 8 centimeter, a square of side y centimeter is cut. So let's just draw it simultaneously. We have this square of side 8 centimeter. From all the four corners, a square of y is cut out, right, from all the four sides. The remaining sheet is folded into a cuboid. The maximum possible volume of the cuboid formed as m. The minimum possible volume of the cuboid formed as m cubic centimeter. If y is an integer, then find the value of m. So first of all, what will be the sides of the cuboid? Such cuboid so formed. This side is going to be 8 minus 2y. This side is also going to be 8 minus 2y. And the height of the cuboid is going to be y. Right? Because we are folding it from here. So this becomes the y becomes the height of the cuboid, and this side are both 8 minus 2y. What will be the volume of cuboid? This will be y into 8 minus 2y whole square. Now clearly if we see this, y has to be less than 4, because what happens if y is equal to 4, the side of the cuboid becomes 0. So that means we don't have a cuboid. So that means y has to be less than 4, and it is mentioned that it is an integer. This is mentioned. This is not a necessary condition, but since it is already mentioned that this is an integer, so these are the two conditions. So now what are the possible values of y? Y can be 3, y can be 2 or 1. So for y equal to 3, what is the volume that we get? Put the value of this y in the first expression. So we get 3 into 8 minus 2 into 3 is 6, 8 minus 6 is 2 whole square is 4 into 3. So it becomes 12 centimeter cube. Similarly for y equal to 2, the volumes becomes 32 centimeter cube. And for y equal to 1, volume becomes 36 centimeter cube. Now what is the minimum of these three? Volume is equal to 12 centimeter cube is the minimum. So this implies m is equal to 12. This is the answer to this question. So friends, if you like the video, please like it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on the new sessions.